Welcome back to the fifth part of What's New in Autodesk Inventor 2017, a deep dive into new functionality. I'm Andreas Answagner and I work as a designated support specialist at Autodesk. In this chapter, we are going to cover Inventor's presentation enhancements and drawing enhancements. Let's begin with the Inventor presentation environment. Compared to Inventor 2016, the presentations environment is enhanced to make your documentation creation tasks easier and faster. You can easily arrange components in exploded views for drawing creation and quickly create powerful as well as expressive animations. Snapshot views allow you to capture specific model and camera arrangements for use in drawing views and raster image outputs. A new timeline-based story panel makes it easy to control and edit assembly sequences or movements. Further, in Inventor 2017 R2 update, a couple of useful features were added to the storyboard like track to change start and end time or edit the duration of multiple actions. Another thing I'd like to mention is that the auto-explode command has been removed from Inventor 2017. Please watch the following overview video to get an impression of the enhanced presentations environment.
Exploded views are an essential tool to clearly illustrate the included parts of complex assemblies. With the presentation environment inside Autodesk Inventor, you can quickly generate exploded views and animations for use in drawings, documentation, and assembly instructions to clearly communicate your design by exposing all the parts in your product. Setting up the view is as simple as selecting the parts you want to position and using the Tweak command to move each component exactly where you want it. Here, you have a familiar set of tools, a triad for pushing, pulling, or rotating the selected objects, a dynamic input box for typing in precise dimensions, along with options for adding trail lines or adjusting the opacity of objects in the view. As you move components around, each action is captured on a timeline inside the storyboard panel. This visual representation in the storyboard clearly displays each sequence of movements and provides you control over the camera position and details how each action will be displayed on screen. You can create multiple storyboards to organize complex animations into shorter, more manageable segments, and each storyboard can be exported as an individual video clip or as part of a complete collection. You can also capture static snapshots of different model arrangements and camera positions at any point in the storyboard that can be published as images or included in drawings. These snapshots are typically synchronized with the storyboard, so you can easily generate a sequence of images that capture every key step in the process. Or they can be managed independently to create supplementary images as needed. Autodesk Inventor makes it simple to create expressive animations and exploded views for your product documentation, manuals, and assembly instructions that clearly communicate how everything comes together.
I'd love to explain the new presentations environment in detail, but this would explode the timeframe of this What's New chapter. So I recommend a great tutorial is available on our Inventor Trial Resource Center. Please check out this 20-minute tutorial is providing videos, a step-by-step guide, and a dataset. And we are already with the next topic, drawing enhancements in Inventor 2017. In the Section View dialog box, you can now choose between cut edges as smooth and cut edges as jagged to support a better technical communication for partially sectioned components on drawings. This type of break lines is also available in the Edit Section Properties dialog box and in the Style and Standard Editor dialog to define default settings for the view type section. I think this enhancement is quickly to understand. I've got an exhaust tube as base view on my drawing. I just need a partial section view from. Simply apply the section view as usual and you can observe the break line in the section view is displayed as jagged. My Inventor uses the cut edges as jagged option as a default setting. If you need a smooth break line, you can either use the Edit Section Properties dialog or change the default option in the Styles and Standard editor. There is another very useful checkbox on the Sketch tab in the Application options available. Select or deselect the Enable Link option by default during image insertion checkbox to customize the default setting when inserting an image from the Sketch menu. If you work a lot with inserted images in your sketches, you had to make sure either the linked images are stored and remain inside your Inventor project structure, or you embed the images in your drawings without external references. In case you have CAD standards only allowed to link or to embed images during inserting, the probability to forget the checking/unchecking of the link checkbox on the Insert Image dialog is quite high. So just control the default behavior with this new checkbox in the application options now. Oh yeah, an enhancement for the beauty of drawings. The columns and headings of general tables, part lists, whole tables, and revision tables in drawings now support automatic text wrapping. Column headings wrap to a minimum width to accommodate the largest word in the column. Table headings wrap to a minimum width of the included columns. To benefit of the automatic text wrapping in legacy drawings, you need to edit the table. Once you're in the Table Layout dialog, check the Enable Automatic Wrap checkbox and click OK. In Inventor 2017, the new Limit Quantity to Visible Components Only checkbox has been added. You can find the checkbox if you edit the parts list, access the Filter Settings dialog, and filter for Assembly View representations. The intention of this checkbox is only visible parts are taken into account for quantity and item quantity columns in a parts list. Previously, to achieve the same result, you had to override the quantity in the drawings parts list, or you delete components in the assembly document. As usual, the recorded workflow. In this IEM, I've already created a design view representation displays a reduced amount of standard parts. The default design view displays the complete number of standard parts used for the bolted connection. I create a new drawing view out of this assembly model. Just an aside, the Create Drawing View command has been introduced in Inventor 2016. It merges several steps of the known drawing creation workflow and is much faster, just in case you've missed this enhancement. To demonstrate the quantity limitation controlled by a design view, I need a parts list at first. Maybe you've noticed I'm using the default design view representation, shows all standard parts. You can directly select the intended design view representation during the base view creation as well. My apologies, I forgot. So I need still to switch the user-defined design view representation, shows the reduced number of screws and nuts. If I would use the default design view, the parts list would display its quantity of standard parts. The next step is to edit the parts list and to access the filter settings. After I've chosen my Reduce Standard Parts design view, I check the Limit Quantity to Visible Components Only checkbox to make sure the enhancement is applied. As you can see in the quantity cells, the number of standard parts was reduced according to the design view representation.